Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Blood Bowl Chaos Edition. I am the Illusionist, and you are rejoining me in the middle of the match between the Ironbeards Dwarves and the Darkworlders, the Necromancy team. So far, things have been going the way of the Ironbeards. Plenty of injuries and even sending off the Necromantic team. Just one KO for the Dwarves. So I'm winning the numbers, and I'm winning by 1 touchdown to none. After the first half, where the Dwarves were forced to kick, we now get to receive. So, this works out quite well for me. I have a nearly full lineup of 10 players out of 11. So I can afford to put my runner ready to catch the ball right at the back of the pitch. Just what we need. Opponent has quite a cautious setup here, putting his fastest player surrounded by his other players. Quite a good trick. That way, once the way is open through my line, he can sneak through. It also means that if something goes wrong, the werewolf is safe for another turn, so I can't come in and blitz the hell out of him. I think at this point, if the ghoul and the werewolf are injured, the Necromancy team is in serious trouble, so they're not going to be able to get down the pitch quick enough to take the ball off me without a serious fight on their hands. And being outnumbered as they are by such good quality players as the Dwarves, with the block skills and the thick skill to protect them, that's going to be a fight they really don't want to have to try and take. I am being a coward though. There's still a werewolf, and after the last turn, the first thing that happened was I got a player knocked off the pitch. He's over there still knocked out. So I tuck in a little bit. I don't want anyone to be close enough where they can be pushed out of the way for a second time. And given that there's only 3 players on the touchline, I put my blocker back a bit. So if I do struggle on either side, he can move in for some support later on. We're ready to kick. What do we get? Riot! So that moves the clock on. Probably a really good result for me actually, because none of my players get hurt. The ball is touched back, so I can put it wherever I want. I'm going to choose on my blocker actually, because that's 2 turns where I don't have to go and fetch it, come back and then move up. So even though my opponent has lost a turn because of the riot, I've just gained a turn because of the touchback. That puts me ahead. KO the zombie. That's a really good start, just what I wanted. And immediately get into a cage on the right hand side. I've got 6 turns where at the worst comes to the worst, I can just stall and I don't have to let my opponent get a touchdown. I don't need to get another. I can win 1-0 quite happily. I can do that all day. However, we don't get complacent. If we can knock guys down, we knock guys down. There we go. Tackle zone on the zombie, so he can't come across and mend his out cage. He's already got at least 5 players who can do that. I don't need 6. There's no such thing as a perfectly secure cage, even against dwarves. Shoring up the side. Might have put him at the front, being clever. But then all he'd do is get blocked by a zombie joining in this guy. Runner tries to sprint into that square. Not a great result, but it's still early in the half. I've achieved just about everything I wanted to do. I'm not going to spend my reroll just moving him 1 extra square that really is just getting punched in the face for his troubles. Marking up, so that guy's not in a tackle zone. Those 2 are. It's a straight 1 dice roll on the blocker. He gets both down, rerolls it, defender down. Takes the ball straight out of my cage. Good manoeuvre. That's pretty hard to do without a big guy or without a big numbers advantage. Admittedly, his werewolf's now toast because he's got 5 people ready to get up and smack him in the nose. But as I've said before, if you don't have the ball, you can't score. He's taken the ball off me and he's got all these players now running around ready to pick it up next turn. And for better or worse, all my characters are in tackle zones too. I'm not getting away from him. That ball's going to have to sit there for another turn. Or I roll lots of dice. As I've proven so far, the dice are not my friend. They're no one's friend. Nuffle, the god of Blood Bowl, also known as RNG, the god of dice, has forsaken me on more than one occasion. One more won't really make too much of a difference. Not to him, anyway. Having said that, I think I'm still in a strong position. I've got plenty of bodies facing off against my opponent. I certainly outnumber him in this little area, and I have my blocker and my Troll Slayer ready to join the fight whenever they want to. So I can stop him getting the ball, I think. Both down, great. Again, Dwarves have block. No, I'm going to push actually. That way he's an extra square away from the ball, and it's an extra dodge roll. And I've already got half a cage. I run straight back in the middle. If I'd have just knocked him down, he'd be there ready the next turn just to knock my run over again. So that wasn't necessarily the worst decision in the world. Now we try and be clever. Knock over another zombie. Try and complete the cage this time. Make it even harder to get the ball off him. Which I do. So, 3 players at the front, 2 at the side, and 1 at the back. I don't think you can get a player around the back, but that blocker's there just in case. And that's an extra screw you to the werewolf. So those guys scare me just a little bit. Of course, the Troll Slayer is going to get it in the face next turn. And that's actually probably quite a bad idea, because all that's happened is the Troll Slayer is going to get pushed back into the rank. The Blitzer in the middle gets pushed into the runner gets pushed out to the edge. And then the Ghoul can just step around and punch him in the nose. Didn't think of that. Exactly as I thought it was. So, I try and set a good example when I play Blood Bowl, to respect your opponent and show good sportsmanship. This is a really, really good tactic by the Necromancy team's captain. He's got me bunched in the middle. At least 4 of my 9 players here aren't doing anything, so they're in no one's tackle zones, and my runner's exposed. He might get tackled, he might get taken down. Good play, good decision. And it didn't take a tremendous amount of luck to do it either, quite frankly. Probably a 50-50 chance on 2 dice. Defender stumble, perfect. He's broken my cage and got the ball off me. Again, damn that werewolf. And again, the coach has shown a really, really good tactical sense. It's not easy to break a cage, particularly not a 9 dwarf cage, no less. I hate doing it with a death roller. I hate doing it with tree men. He's done it with a werewolf and a wight and a zombie. Fantastic play. I still got the edge, I think. Again, I outnumber on all sides, so the wight gets knocked over or out of the way. That leaves... Ooh. That was unlucky. Had to make the roll to try and get around to the ball. Don't fault him there. Again, Nuffle is not your friend. So now I'm back to outnumbering by a long margin. All 3 players on this cage can get knocked over. Get the runner up. And the dice forsake me as well. Sure hands is a great skill. Like all skills, it's not a guarantee. I think perhaps if I have a fault for this coach, they're spending far too much time and effort knocking around this blocker. Because that's 5 players that were held up by it until now. I'm not saying leave it alone entirely, but quite frankly, these 2 zombies should have moved first, because that could have gone wrong. Sheer luck saves me. If that werewolf had gotten the ball and dodged away, that would have been a touchdown to the Necromantic team. Quite happily, in fact. He can move 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He might not even have to risk the... Go for it. That blocker ain't getting anywhere. He just stops in this corner over here. However, knock him over. Runner gets the ball. Hooray. And he moves back into the cage. This time, I leave a way out. The U-shape means that even if this Troll Slayer gets pushed in, the runner doesn't have to get pushed to the edge of the cage. He just moves back in and he's got the 2 blockers and the block and the blitzer at the back protecting him. I pretty much decided I'm not going anywhere at this point. I'm quite happy just to sit and win by a touchdown. Especially since my opponent has proven quite happily that they can break this cage. That's really, really tough. And I hate to say it, I'm kind of worried about going anywhere now. And the obvious play is just to move forward, blitz the white to the side, and then everyone shuffles 2 squares up. Still only got 1 reroll. The white's got block, so there's a reasonable chance he's going to stay where he is, and he's still got all of these players here who can just mob me on one side. I'd have done that first, frankly. Especially since, as I said, the runner, he's now in the middle of a second backup cage. So if he'd have mobbed these guys from the side, he'd at least have a much better blocking opportunity next turn, or potentially even a better blitzing opportunity on the runner. Who's to say, really? The werewolf waits in earnest to be fed. Because 1 blitz on the Troll Slayer, the blocker goes back, the runner goes back. He can be got next turn, and with the flesh golem on this side and the zombie on this side, he gets no assists. Being shy with the zombies, yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to assist with the zombie, knock the Troll Slayer into the blocker, into the runner, into the waiting hands of the werewolf and the flesh golem. Now he's just setting up assists, which is a good idea. The Necromancy coach still thinks they can score, which makes me very nervous. Fortunately, the blocker gets up this turn, so I can move him straight back to the front line, move my runner up also. So even if he does get pushed back, he's going to end up basically where he is right now. I'm going to get the crap blocked out of me next turn, of course. But you know, it happens. I have to trust in my dwarven statistics to take it. Interesting though, it puts my Troll Slayer in a really good position. He's got the Frenzy skill, which means he normally push and follow up on an opponent, whether he wants to or not. However, against the Flesh Golem, who has the Stand Firm skill, that's basically just 2 free attacks. Either he goes down or I go down. As it happens, I was going to go down. That's when you use your reroll. Oh, okay, I misjudged that. I thought even if you got a push and he didn't move, you got your second push. So no, you actually have to push someone in order to get the Frenzy skill. Interesting. Again, why not get your zombies up? Make that a bit easier. Still waiting to use the werewolf, I think. That blocker's taking a hell of a beating. Who is he? Drakas the Stout. Okay. Flesh Golem. Again, that extra gap over there saved me. If the Troll Slayer had been pushed forward, the runner would push forward and the blocker would be pushed to the side, the runner would be exposed. This looks like desperation. He's just trying anything now to try and get into the cage. Worthwhile. He's now got 2 players against my runner. The flesh golem, he's not going to be moved. He's staying there. Strength 4 and stand firm. Quite a potent combination. However, I get a chance to attack back. I can still knock him down. I can still knock the werewolf back. Clearly I'm not moving forward. I'm not going to score. I'm 2 turns away. 15, 16 squares, and all I can move is 14. So I'm not even going to bother trying. If I really wanted to, I could pass the ball perhaps to the Troll Slayer and move this way. That's still 14. It's 4 go for it rolls and 2 turns to score. Not to mention he has to catch the ball with agility 2. Not doing that either. So sorry folks, not great viewing, but you get to sit and watch the Dwarves get beaten up for another couple of turns. Again, preparing tackle zones on my defenders, so it's going to be a straight roll for the werewolf on the runner, or equal roll from the flesh golem now that this blocker is in a tackle zone. So basically this is move or be moved time for the Dwarves. Can't push the flesh golem. Still can't push the flesh golem. I'm going to keep trying. Troll Slayer gets what he needs. Excellent. So not only was he dauntless, he's got the block skill. He knocks down the flesh golem. It's all on the werewolf. It's going to be a straight roll against my runner, because the Troll Slayer is in a tackle zone, and so is the flesh golem. Might just work. Fender stumbles. The ball carrier gets knocked down. Hooray for the Necromancy team. Whoa, catch the ball. Round and round he goes. So he didn't pick it up. The zombie didn't pick it up, but the blitzer did. Wow, that was unlucky. And again, he broke into my cage 3 times in 5 turns. Trying to dodge the zombie, perhaps not the best idea. But what else could he do? Yeah, see, that's why Frenzy sucks, because you have to make 2 attacks. Sounds like a good idea, but you have to make 2 attacks. When that happens, you can go anywhere and eventually get 2 dice against. Or even just 1 dice, and it all goes horribly, horribly wrong. However, I have saved face. Technically I didn't drop the ball. It went straight into the hands of another dwarf. No, neither team is going to score. It's been a very hard fought. I mean, look at this. This is 14 players in a 5x5 area. What a brawl. 1 more turn and someone's going to get seriously hurt here. Probably even me. And again, even in his dying breath, the Necromancy coach has got a player against the ball carrier. What else am I supposed to do? This is fantastic playing. I wouldn't be able to do this. I'd wait 2 more games to get my big guy in. And let him do all the hard work. Of course, he can't score. Knock me down some more. Try and get some injuries. Get some star player points. Nothing wrong there. attacker down. Last dice of the game, and it's a turnover. That was just horrible luck. Fantastic effort from the Necromancer coach. Hats off to them. I'd have struggled in their position, and they kept coming on and coming on. However, it wasn't enough. 6 out of 20. That's that's horrible. I don't believe that for the slightest moment. Plenty of blood on the pitch. Blood Bowl fans love that. Oh well. Ironbeards. Snorri finally gets his level up. That's 2 MVPs he scored in, I think, 3 games, something like that. Good for him. Yet another zombie gets the MVP. I looked down this player's list. 4 different zombies in 4 games got the MVP. And no other star player points. That's really unlucky. You'd hope to get something by now, surely, but there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. That was Blood Bowl Chaos Edition. We'll see you again for another game another time. Bye bye, take care.